is Wednesday night. It's June 15th, 2022. A brand new episode of the Kicking Out podcast coming at you. I'm Tanner Lee, along with my co-host, who is back this week, Paul Moose Zartman. What's going on, Paul?
Ready for Forbidden Door so I can get my gold back. I feel a little lost.
I hope you've been studying your New Japan.
I have. I've been watching it every time it comes up on my TV.
That's probably a good thing because Austin was definitely showing off his New Japan knowledge last week.
Yeah, well, it's just plain and simple. If I lose at Forbidden Door, I'm just going to pull a Taz and create my own title and bring it on the show.
I'd be interested to see what that looks like.
And then never defend it.
Well,
Ever.
I am, like I announced last week on the podcast, or maybe it was even the week before, I am out of Forbidden Door. So it's just you and
are.
Austin. So I got to wait till All Out to try to win my first title. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're first of the new rebranded KFC
right.
championship.
Well, even the old one, I think I only won one time. So
yeah.
I need to start studying harder or something. I don't know. Maybe I need to take some more chances. I don't know. I got to figure something out.
Well, the last time you lost was because you took some pretty big chances, and
That's true.
chances have never turned out well for either one of us.
Well, and I'm not mad at losing at Double or Nothing. It came down to the main event. I mean, it was as close as I could get. So
I wasn't close.
No, you swang and whiffed on a few, but hey, that's okay. Sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah. It happens. Like I said, it'll come back at Forbidden Door, and it'll come home where it belongs.
We will see come next Sunday. Going to be a fun event. Dynamite tonight. We're starting to figure out some of the matches going into Forbidden Door. So
I know.
That's nice. Finally, I was getting a little nervous. I'm like, are they going to wait till the last week to start announcing everything? But we finally got a good slate tonight.
Yes, we did. So without further ado, I say we just dive right into this.
Well, before we get into this, let's talk about the big AEW news of the week. I think we got to hit on it. That's Jeff Hardy. Unfortunately, Jeff Hardy arrested early Monday morning, I believe it was, down in Florida, making his way back to North Carolina. Basically, this is Jeff's third DUI in 10 months.
I saw something, and I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, it is true, but I feel like it was a little of a low blow. But again, it's the internet, it's wrestling fans. What do you expect? It said, congratulations to Jeff Hardy on being the first ever Triple Crown DUI winner.
Yeah, that's a low blow. That's not even cool at all.
No, it's not. And it had a lot of likes. And I'm like, really, you guys? The guy's clearly, I mean, if like I follow Rebby on TikTok, and some of the stuff, I mean, she released a pretty lengthy video talking about it, and she was getting emotional during it. So, I mean, there's clearly something else going on with Jeff, and thoughts out to him and his family as they deal with this. So
I just hope he finally gets the help that he obviously needs.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I hate to say this, 3 DUIs in that short time span. How many other times is this going on and he just doesn't get caught?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm afraid if he doesn't get help, he's going to end up killing himself or killing somebody eventually.
Yeah. And, then, like, for me, it raises the question, WWE accused him of being drunk when he walked out on that match. He says, I wasn't, I was sober. Now it does become a question. Were you, though?
Right. So, I mean, Jeff's fought demons for years. Everybody says he's the nicest guy outside the ring, and he seems like it from all the media appearances and everything I've seen over the years. But it's obvious these demons and addiction's a disease that's so hard to overcome. These demons are getting the better of him, and I really hope he gets the help he needs. Tony Khan came out yesterday. AEW is suspending Jeff Hardy without pay until he goes through rehab. So,
yeah, but it looks like they're willing to, if I read it correctly, they're willing to help him on this road.
Yes, and he's willing to get help, it sounds like. Now, earlier this year, the WWE wanted to get him in rehab, and he turned it down. So
right. And again, I think it was probably more of the situation and who was around. Again, Matt wasn't there. He had no family there in the WWE at that point. and now he's got his family there. And from everything I've heard, TK is like works his hardest to be a good friend with everybody while still being the boss. So
Yeah, it's just too bad for everybody involved. The timing was awful for the Hardys. I honestly think they were going to win the tag team titles tonight and get that one last nostalgia run. Maybe they still will eventually, but that's definitely on the back burner for now. And Matt, and I'm sure Matt Hardy. I mean, this isn't his main worry and priority. His main worry is, of course, the health of his brother. But Matt Hardy's AEW run just has not. Every time it looks like it's going to click, something happens.
yeah, whether it be an injury for somebody he's working in a program with or himself. Now Jeff, poor guy can't catch a break.
No, he can't. So, best wishes, like you said, to Jeff Hardy and his family and his friends. Hopefully, he comes back better than ever eventually.
Oh, and I think he will. I think he will. If he's truly dedicated to going through rehab this time next year, he'll walk back through the entrance ramp or down the entrance ramp, and he'll be a whole different person.
I hope you're right, because it's got to stop. Yeah, I mean he's in the headlines way too often. It's just got to stop.
And maybe those swanton bombs will actually involve him rolling off of them instead of just falling on them.
Maybe. So we will see. We will see what happens on his hopefully road to recovery. So
Yes.
But with all that said, unless you have any more other thoughts, let's get into tonight's AEW Dynamite.
I'm ready to
Road Rager.
Road Rager. And of course, it kicks off as it always does with JR welcoming everybody to the broadcast. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite. He welcomes in Excalibur and Tony Schiavone. And we get right into our first match, which is a hair versus hair match. Jericho versus Ortiz. Did you think this was going to be the opener?
I was trying to figure out what the opener was going to be. I thought it was going to be Dax against Will Ospreay.
I kind of was feeling that way too. And then the Jericho Appreciation Society stuff hits, and I'm, okay, we're doing hair versus hair right off the bat.
In this match, I got to be honest, going into tonight, I was intrigued just because of the stipulation. The matchup between just Ortiz and Jericho itself and ring didn't really appeal to me, but it exceeded my expectations. I thought it was a really good match.
Yeah. Everyone's brawling outside and inside the ring. We see Fuego del Sol come out of nowhere, hit Ortiz with a bat, allowing Jericho to pick up the win. And then we reveal that Sammy Guevara is back with Jericho.
Well, at first I actually, for a split second, thought it was Fuego. I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. He's never on Dynamite. He hasn't been involved in anything. And then I went before Sammy reveals himself under the mask. I kind of look at the body figure. I'm like, that's not Fuego.
Yeah, that was my thing. They're like, oh, it's Fuego del Sol. And I happened to look real quick because I kind of knew how this match was going to go, because throughout the whole match, they were talking about Jericho being bald and he'll have to get a wig, and going on tour with Fozzy is going to look weird. And I'm like, all right, he's not losing this match. Commentary spent too much time talking about his hair for him to lose this match.
Yeah, and Jericho coming out yesterday, or AEW maybe posted it, and then Jericho retweeted it and posted on his Instagram of what he would look like bald. Just him doing that, I was like, yeah, he's not losing this match.
Yeah. And so when they said it was Fuego, I looked real quick and went, that's not Fuego. There's no way.
I thought it was good, though. It was a good swerve.
It was.
Sammy and Tay Conte being in the Jericho Appreciation Society, I'm fine with it. It definitely makes them heels. Jericho back with Hager, or Sammy back with Hager and Jericho against Proud and Powerful. I'm okay with it. I'm all good with it. The one thing that bothered me about this match was it took the other guys forever to come down to the ring. Yuta, Santana, those guys. So,
and even commentary mentioned it. They're like, what took you guys so long to get down here? And it might have been Regal who said it, but
and you had to not notice that Bryan Danielson nowhere to be seen again, so he's obviously still on the shelf. Not good.
Yeah. I'm not sure how bad it is, but there was talk of concussions, so that's never a good thing.
Yeah, I thought I read somewhere it was 1 to 2 weeks, so hopefully maybe he'll be back next week. Maybe he can be on Forbidden Door, but I don't know. I feel like they would have tried to build something already if they thought he was coming back.
Yeah. Real quick, I know everybody keeps saying it's not going to happen. Do you think we could see Kenny Omega return at Forbidden Door?
I'm starting to think so.
Okay. Because I noticed he well, one, they redid the open again and pulled the Hardy Boys out of it, or the Hardys,
Yes,
I guess I
that
should say.
yes.
But Omega was in there more now than he has been, which kind of threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. As you know, some people think he could be getting close. Others say that he's not nowhere near close. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But we'll talk about it later. The Switchblade era segment makes me think maybe. I mean,
Okay.
it's got to be somebody big. If there,
Okay.
it's not one of those two guys. So.
And the one final thing I'll touch on, because I wasn't here last week
Mm-hmm.
as everything was really taking off, which is with MJF being removed from everything except the DraftKings commercial.
I didn't catch that.
He's in there for just a second. And I'm like, wait a minute. Thought he was supposed to be off all advertisements.
If I'm AEW, I keep him off TV for a couple months.
Oh, yeah. At least.
Maybe
Bring him
maybe
back.
comes back at all out at the end of the show or something.
Yeah. Or maybe a couple weeks after that, even.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. Next is the 20-on-1 handicap elimination match, Wardlow versus the Plaintiffs. I loved how they started this thing out, how it was like watching a courtroom TV show.
Yeah, I just was intrigued by what the presentation of this was going to look like.
Yeah.
Then the rest of it was just fun. I mean, it's just a
It
fun
was.
segment.
It was. Obviously, Wardlow defeated all 20 plaintiffs. But post match, Dan Lambert, as usual, gets on the microphone.
He's so annoying. I just
is.
take him off TV.
Tells Matt Hughes and Tyrone Woodley to get in the ring and take out the trash.
Which I recognize Matt Hughes a little bit. Woodley, not so much.
Right.
I mean, I used to watch a decent amount of UFC, but for some reason I didn't recognize him.
I had no clue who either one of these guys were, so it's kind of, news to me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Wardlow says, "Oh, you guys are from St. Louis. I'm, we're all Midwest guys." They kind of agree to disregard Lambert's orders, and they attack Mark Sterling instead.
Yeah, I was fine with this. You knew Sterling was going to get a powerbomb tonight. I got to say, I do love the. I mean, I'm not an LA Lakers fan by any means, but I love that look of the TNT title on Scorpio with the Lakers colors. But
yeah, it wouldn't have worked with anybody else, but
I think he'll drop the title to Wardlow. So.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly where we're going here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Will Ospreay and Dax Harwood. I was excited for this match. I gotta say, I only know of Will from Warrior Wrestling. That's kind of where I've been introduced to him through. So I was excited to see this because, anytime you see indie guys on big time, I mean, he's more than just an indie guy. Yeah, clearly.
He's the U.S. champion for the IWGP U.S. champs.
Yeah. But, anytime you see a guy who's 45 minutes up the road wrestling on TV, it's great.
Right. Oh, I said last week, Ospreay, in my opinion, is a top 5 talent.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will.
And Dax can hold his own like he proved again tonight in singles action. I mean, this match was the one on the card. Well, no, it was the number 2 on the card I was looking most forward to. I'm a ladder match. I love ladder matches. So that was the one I was looking forward to the most. But this match lived up to its expectations or maybe even exceeded them. It was a great match. I know our buddy and the KOP predictions champ Austin Shepard loved it.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably drank some tequila while watching it.
And drank one for Dax.
Yep.
This match, I mean, going into this match, I had no clue who was going to win this. This was one of those.
I thought there was no way Ospreay was losing.
But again,
no way.
It's one of those things that I figured Ospreay would win, but it was one of those, maybe there's that little bit of hope for Dax. And
I mean, they did a lot of great close falls. And the story of the match was perfect, but it'll be interesting at Forbidden Door, like what company, assuming it's not a split, what company gets the upper hand as more winners, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
Osprey
got to
and Bert.
be AEW, but
You would
but
think,
New Japan's
but
definitely got to get some win. I mean, some of their guys obviously aren't going to lose. So.
right. Osprey gets the win, as we mentioned, after hitting a Liger bomb in the Os cutter and a shot to the back of the head.
Oh, that's a devastating finisher.
Oof, yeah, that's one of those. It's a finisher for a reason.
Yeah,
It
he
will
hits them
finish
to
the match.
perfection. Mm-hmm.
Yes. After the bell, United Empire came out, fought with the Best Friends, but were chased away by Orange Cassidy of all people. That threw me off.
I didn't know when to expect him. Good pop from the crowd. The crowd still loves him some Orange. Tanner doesn't, but the crowd does. Yeah, I thought this whole thing ended up being like a kind of like a cluster. Well, no,
Yeah.
the cluster was actually no. The cluster was the. I'm getting my segments mixed up. The cluster was the
Clusters
JAS towards
coming
the
up. Yep.
yeah coming up, but no. I mean, we're gonna get Osprey against Orange for the IWGP US title at Forbidden Door. We're gonna get a 6-man tag next week with Osprey and the part of the United Empire. I forget what they call themselves off the top of my head. The two guys I'm blanking, but then we're gonna get
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy and Roppongi Vice on the opposite side. So should be
Yeah.
good next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, clearly. Now we're getting towards your segment. We've got John Moxley coming out to have a face to face, and I'm gonna butcher his name, so help me out here. Hiroshi
Tanahashi, pretty close.
Tanahashi. Okay, I
Ace,
was
the Ace.
yes,
Yeah.
the ace. Moxley says he has been chasing Tanahashi for a long time. He says all his work with the New Japan Pro Wrestling has always been about Tanahashi. Moxley believes he is the best pro wrestler on this planet, and they won't be calling Tanahashi Ace for much longer. Says when the dust settles at Forbidden Door, Tanahashi will call Moxley Ace, at which point Jericho comes out with Sammy and Ty saying this is his spot. Tanahashi then told Jericho to shut up. Lance
That was great.
Archer. Yes, it was. I see. I'm sitting there going, okay, again, still learning New Japan. Does the guy know enough English to carry on a face to face here with a guy like Moxley? It was
Not
perfect.
quite, but he I mean, that was just fun. His delivery
Jericho,
was great.
shut up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great. But Lance Archer and Desperado, along with the JAS, proceed to attack Tanahashi and Moxley. Jericho then confirmed that Ty and Sammy are part of JAS, which clearly was, we knew that after the hair versus hair match.
Right.
And then Tanahashi and Moxley clear out the ring and stand face to face ahead of Forbidden Door.
It was nice to see that Ortiz definitely shaved his head bald. I'm glad they went through with that. It wasn't just a little haircut. He buzzed it all. Lance Archer and remind me of the other guy's name, please.
Desperado.
Yeah, I knew he was one of the better lightweights around the world. That was interesting. It just seems like JS keeps adding more and more people. It's like, is this going to be the AEW's version of new NWO?
Yes,
but
we said that with the Inner Circle.
But what I didn't like about the segment is I was really enjoying the Tanahashi and Moxley stuff. And then Jericho comes out, I kind of rolled my eyes. And I mean, Jericho pretty much interrupted just to announce a 6-man that doesn't involve either of those guys.
Yes.
So,
yeah,
which I agree with DTA Pro Wrestling live on YouTube via Twitch. Great heel turn, but JS getting dumb.
Yeah.
Moxley and Tanahashi take my money. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I'm already put the money aside to order Forbidden Door just for this match. No, there's plenty of matches I want.
But so we get it. We're getting a 6-man, which will be probably really good at Forbidden Door. But it's like, really? I mean, was that all needed just to announce that match?
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, like DTA said there, JS is just getting dumb at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's it'll be interesting to see what direction they go with it after Blood and Guts.
Yeah, which can we talk about Ortiz here for a second?
And he's also pumped about Orange Cassidy and Osprey.
Oh, that'll be good too. That'll be good.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm not shy about saying I'm not the biggest. Orange Cassidy guy, but the guy can go in the ring. So,
Yes.
of course, like I said, Ospreay can, in my opinion, top 5 in-ring talent around the world. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to. Yes.
Yeah, they're long overdue. Proud
Oh,
Power Paul
absolutely.
Santana and Ortiz should have been already tag champs at one point.
At least once, if not 2 times. But
Yep.
we just are fans. But like Ortiz, I mean, okay, the man clearly needs to take some lessons in how to cut a promo. Tonight, he just seemed like a barbarian. Blood and guts, blood and God. It seemed too much for me.
Yeah.
Just
Yep. I agree with DTA Pro Wrestling right here. He wanted OC and Zack Sabre Jr., but Danielson is 100%. Yeah, Sabre called out Danielson last week, so we'll see if Danielson can go. That's a match I'd certainly love to see.
oh yeah, oh yeah. After this confusing segment that we had here, there's a video package highlighting the feud between Darby Allin and Kyle O'Reilly. And Bobby Fish is set to face Darby Allin in a match on Friday's Rampage.
Yeah, a fitting match for Rampage. Darby will go over Fish. No doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They've even been having some stuff on Dark involving Darby and Red Dragon. So,
yep. Prior to her match against Dr. Britt Baker, Toni Storm was interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Storm said that she will take the AEW women's division to the level it should be.
Your typical AEW Dynamite backstage promo with the women.
Yep. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yep.
Although, I mean, I like that, though. Yep. I think they need more backstage segments like that where it's just, I'm going to do this. That's that. Boom. I'm out of here. We move on.
Yeah. Would still love to see 2 women's matches every week on Dynamite,
but at least we're getting women twice now.
And at least we got a fitting one tonight.
Yes. Up next was the AEW All Atlantic Championship qualifier, which I wasn't here last week. That belt is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a good looking title. I'm still warming up to the idea of it. I do like how Tony Khan explained today. It's pretty. He said Americans can definitely go for it, but it's designed more for the international talent.
Kind of like the original Intercontinental title. Yes. It was, you had your USA or your US champion that your American guys went after, and then your Intercontinental was everybody else.
And then the European title late in its day too.
Yes.
So I'm okay with it. I want to ask you though, Paul, since you didn't get away in last week, are we getting into the territory of too many titles?
Yes and no.
Or is it too early to tell?
I think it's too early to tell. You got to definitely do something different with Battle for the Belts then, because if you're going to have an hour-long show, you're going to have like 5-minute matches to fit this all in. I mean, I know at the first Battle for the Belts, we didn't see all the titles defended anyway. We saw some of them on Dynamite. Yeah. So getting there,
because you gotta take in consideration ROH titles too.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Until ROH really takes off, they're kind of, in a sense, piggybacking off of AEW right now. So those titles are being seen on AEW, and we're going to get to the point, if we're not careful, where every match is going to have a champion in it. It's the only way to get all the belts shown. So,
because we're going to get trios titles eventually.
I know.
And are we going to get women's tag titles? I mean,
no, please, no. Just stop it. Give us the trios and stop there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'll say.
I mean, you don't want to get in NXT territory where you have a million belts.
Yeah. Well, everybody was talking about wanting some type of Intercontinental Championship. That's what we're getting with the All Atlantic Championship. So now give us the trios and call it a day.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
Yep. So for this qualifier, it was Ethan Page representing Canada versus Miro representing, I can never pronounce his country correctly.
It's Bulgaria?
Is it? Okay.
Well,
maybe it's because I can't remember.
He was announced from Bulgaria at one time.
He lives in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Ethan Page lives in Michigan, I think. So
Now, yeah.
Mhm.
But Miro picked up the win on this one
Yeah.
with the game over. There was no question about it. When I saw this matchup, I went, "Sorry, Ethan, you're done."
Miro's going to win the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, he's the first All Atlantic champion.
Even though the match could be awesome. I mean,
Oh,
you
it
got
is.
Pac, you got Miro, you're going to have Malachi, which I think he was going to beat Penta anyways. But now with the news that the AAA talent, so Andrade and the Lucha Bros, can't be in Forbidden Door, supposedly, that kind of solves that. And
Yeah.
then I don't know who will be representing New Japan, but it's going to be a great match.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Dante Martin and Matt Seidel cut a promo saying that a new star will be born on Friday's edition of Rampage when he faces John Moxley. And what he call himself? The Inhuman Dante Martin?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't care. I kind of just almost slept through that part. I like Dante Martin in ring. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but paired him with Seidel does nothing.
Ugh.
It feels like a ramp. He's starting to feel like a Rampage act.
Yes.
Not that
yes.
it's a bad thing. I mean, it's a great
No.
hour show, but I don't know. It just sucks that Darius got hurt again in Top Flights. I don't know.
We got a
They
couple
keep putting him in these
injuries.
matchups. He does great showing himself, but you know he's not going to win.
Right. I mean, it's Moxley.
When is he going to get these big wins?
Put him against Fuego.
Nah.
I mean, I know it'd be a good win for him though.
But put
Get
him like
Fuego on Rampage, and there you go.
I mean, put him like against a mid card like Ethan Page or
Yeah.
Sean Spears or something.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our women's match of the night: Dr. Britt Baker versus Tony Storm, and of course, Britt is accompanied by Jamie Hayter and Reba. We see Thunder Rosa come down to stop Jamie and Reba from interfering. And Tony Storm picked up the victory.
Finally.
Yes.
I was going to be livid if Britt won tonight.
I know. So they were 1 and 2. So Tony Storm now should be number 1, right?
Yeah. They announced it's her and Thunder at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, they did. I missed that.
That was flashed on the main event because there's 5 minutes left in the show and they started flashing graphics for Forbidden Door.
I was so focused on the match, I didn't pay attention to any of the graphics.
I don't believe New Japan's going to have any women on the show.
Probably not.
They have very little.
Kenny Omega took them all.
So it will be Thunder against Tony Storm. I don't think Tony Storm takes it off Thunder, but it should be another good match.
It's going to start a good program, though, if they work it correctly.
Yeah.
Because, have her lose it, Forbidden Door, work up towards All Out, and maybe we see the title change hands there.
Maybe. Yeah, that would be about fitting timeline to see it go to somebody else.
Especially if they don't start doing something with Thunder's run.
Yeah, I know. This match was good. Britt sold me. I thought she was really hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just the way her body language was, I thought she was kind of out of it, and nope, she sold me pretty good.
Well, I guess when you can work with your boyfriend every week, so you're gonna get better when you've got a boyfriend like Adam Cole.
Darren Walker on Facebook says, "Enjoy Ospreay versus Dax, but got ruined by Pockets versus Will at Forbidden Door, which is a joke. OC should be nowhere near Will." See, I kind of agree there. I don't like the Orange Cassidy stick. He can go in the ring. Ospreay, like I said, top 5 in-ring talent in my opinion. But there's no way he goes over Ospreay. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. Yeah, Ospreay wins that match. That's my prediction. There you go. Write it down, Austin. I'm calling Ospreay.
I think he will too. The more
probably,
and I love that we're getting Ospreay on Dynamite every week leading up to it. That's,
it's
fantastic.
Great. It helps with people who don't know who Will Ospreay is, which clearly the people in attendance do with the pops he's getting.
Well, and you watch him. Well, AEW has such a hardcore fan base. They're hardcore for the independents. A lot of them for New Japan and of course AEW. So they're knowledgeable fans. And all you gotta do is watch Will Ospreay once. You're like, I gotta see more of his matches.
Absolutely. Uh Next we go backstage to hear from hashtag journalist or whatever they're calling him.
Publicist
Stokely publicist. There we go. The
Stokely
publicist for the
Hathaway.
hashtag Cargill brand, Stokely Hathaway.
Guy's good
And
on the mic, man.
he is. He issued an open challenge, and former Ring of Honor alumni Willow Nightingale accepted the open challenge. Apparently, there's some history between her and Hathaway, but Hathaway pretended he had no clue who she was.
Yep. Yep. That'll be a good match. That'll be fun.
Yes.
Jade to win, but that'll be fun.
Well, yeah, Jade's going to win that one. It's not time to drop it yet.
Athena's her next big challenger. So,
Do you think Athena takes it off her?
I still say no, but I think we're getting closer.
All right. All right. Well, now it's time for some cowboy stuff. As Hangman Adam Page makes his way to the ring, he calls himself an idiot for not thinking that Okada could lose the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Surprise me.
Yeah. You shared that, and I was like, wait, what?
Hey, man. Jay White's red hot right now.
Yes, he is. Cole interrupts him and tells him he's an idiot. Cole stated that Okada would not be present for Forbidden Door, and that
I hope that's not true. God, I hope that's not true.
Right?
It's gonna be a bummer. I'm hoping they're waiting until next week and he shows up on Dynamite and sets something up with somebody.
Exactly. Up then out of nowhere, Jay White hits the Blade Runner on Page from behind. White cut a promo on Page saying that he and Cole did not call the shots for his championship, and that the what'd you say it was for Jay White?
The Switchblade era.
There we go.
Yeah.
Drew a blank on it.
Yeah, I was. You threw me off there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, I said, what? Switchblade era.
Switchblade era. Yeah.
He's red hot. I mean, he cut a great promo after Dominion last weekend. He's one of the better heels out there. I really enjoy him. I enjoy his in-ring work. If it's not Hangman, it's not Adam Cole. Is it Kenny?
I mean, I want to say yes. I am ready to have the fallen angel back.
So if it's not
or
Kenny,
the one-winged angel, excuse me.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to see. I like CD, but I don't want to see CD against Jay White. I'm sorry, not now. Maybe years ago. But so if it's not Kenny Paul, who else could it be?
If
it's got to be a big name.
If it's from, this is the problem. If it's from the roster, it's not going to be Wardlow.
Danielson, if he's healthy.
If
the only other one that would make sense.
The only true one that would be, in my mind, absolutely great to watch, just because there's such different styles, but he's been written off TV because he wants fired, is MJF. That would be a big draw.
Yeah.
But here again, it's not going to happen because he's, in his storyline right now with TK.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Danielson, maybe, if he's cleared. Otherwise, man, if it's not Omega, who?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of, they built this up all of a sudden without no Hangman, no Adam Cole. And I don't know if Adam Cole will be cleared to be on Forbidden Door. Maybe we still get Hangman versus Okada. I mean, I feel like these guys are such big talents. You have to have them on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is the way that you don't put Adam Cole on the show if he's not cleared, is he challenges Jay and, thinking that he's going to get this match against Jay. And Jay goes, nah, dude, I don't want to face you. I want this person.
He didn't think Jay would live up to his moniker of Switchblade. Jay stabbed him.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So I'm interested to see. I want to see who he's going to take on. That's for sure.
I'm still surprised we haven't got more of a Bullet Club presence yet. Maybe
I know.
Saving it for next week.
I see. This is where it's rough because we go back a year ago when AEW first started really working with Impact and New Japan a little bit, thanks to Moxley and guys like that. And we had some of the Bullet Club with the Good Brothers
And Kenta.
and Kenta. And now you've got the Good Brothers joining Jay in that promo against AEW. So it's like, okay, you're not going to come back and team up with the Bucks now.
And their contracts come up next month, I believe, in Impact.
Yeah.
There was an interesting picture of the Bullet Club. Everybody's doing the Too Sweet, but if you look at the Good Brothers, they're doing this. It was just an interesting thing I caught the other day on Twitter.
Maybe it becomes the Undisputed Bullet Club.
I don't know.
The Elite Undisputed Bullet Club or something.
When they announced this show, they acted like it was going to be built around the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club, and it really hadn't been the case.
I know, because that's exactly as Adam Cole announced it. He announced the fact that, the Bullet Club, the Undisputed Elite, in the announcement that this was happening.
Right.
And then we don't see any interaction between the two.
Yep. And you got to wonder how much Punk's injury threw off the rest of the card.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, because I think if Punk would have not gotten injured, we would have seen Punk Okada.
No, it was going to be Punk Tanahashi. Tanahashi came out
yeah,
and did this right after that match. So that was definitely built. I don't know what Moxley would have been doing.
Okada.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know.
I sure hope Okada can go.
I hope so.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're gonna know. I hope by next Wednesday that you and Austin know pretty much a full card, so you can make your predictions. I don't believe Austin's joining us next week. I think he's gonna be on vacation, but he'll still give me his predictions. So
okay. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to really dial it in.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It is, especially because, again, we still don't know the full card for Forbidden Door.
And we might not know it next Wednesday. So
no, we might not. So, I mean...
Which, if that happens, you can make your predictions of the matches and then when we know the rest, we'll get the graphic out before Sunday.
Yeah, so we may start with, honestly, just predictions and add confidence points after.
Right, well, we'll figure out what we got to do.
We got a week.
Yep.
But now it's time for the main event. A ladder match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks.
I had a feeling this result was coming. I thought before all this week's events went down, I thought the Hardys were going to be the champs when they were taken out, and they announced yesterday, or maybe it was earlier this morning, that this match was still going on with just these two teams. I was like, all right, the Bucks are going to become our first two-time AEW Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
It just felt right. It felt like it was time to take the straps off of Jurassic Express. And now you can set up Bucks FTR 3 for the titles.
Yes, I know. I'm ready for that. Calling FTR on that one. But I lost count of the number of tables that got broken this ladder match.
The table spots were great tonight. Awesome. Just awesome. Yes.
The first one was a little iffy, but the rest of them were just pure beauty.
We saw Nick Jackson. I think he broke his nose.
Yeah, they mentioned that it might be a broken nose. But
that last table spot with Luchasaurus going through all the tables, that was beautiful. Reminded me of Undertaker.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, all right, well, that's not something I'm going to do. Don't ask me to do that one.
And it was fun to see Luchasaurus in this match because he's a different body type than the other three, but he's so agile for a guy his size. It was still fun to see.
And Matt's shoe coming off just gave me Eddie Guerrero vibes.
Yep.
It was great.
Yep. I was afraid he really hurt his leg.
Yeah.
That one table spot, but I'm glad to see he was all right.
Yeah, me too. Or he truly did hurt it, and the adrenaline kicked in, and he fought through it. And
could be the case because it smacked the side of that table, and that hurts.
Yes, it does. Maybe we'll find out on BTE this week.
Hopefully, we have one. Hopefully, it's not just
I know
a uncut recap. I didn't even watch it, to be honest.
Neither did I.
Yep.
But at the end of the night, the Young Bucks are our two-time AEW Tag Team Champions, and as much great action as there was in this match, post-match was where it was for me. I know it was for you too. We've been talking about it for months now. A
Almost a year.
year, almost a year in the making. Christian finally turned on Jungle Boy.
And how he did it was just beautiful. I mean, he's
Oh
checking on
yeah,
the big guy. He gets in there. Doc Sampson's in there. They're helping Jungle Boy out of the ring. Jungle Boy gets one leg out. Christian pulls him back in, hits the Unprettier, then goes gets the chair and
kill
one
switch.
man kill switch. Thank you. I knew I wasn't calling it it was them Prettier in WWE. I knew I wasn't calling it the right name, but I'm like, I'm going with it because I can't
It's
think of the
close
other.
enough.
And then he hits the one man concerto. Oh,
Ugh.
chef's kiss. Beautiful. Christian, Jungle Boy. That's a Dynamite main event. Maybe even at a not a pay per view main event, maybe even at a pay per view, but I don't think they can wait till All Out. Give me a
No.
Dynamite. That's your main event.
Yes.
Love it.
And I mean, you know, next week they're going to ask Christian why he did it. And he's going to go, well, I gave the kid a shot and he turned his back on me in that shot for the title. He didn't win the title. It's only,
Yep.
I've spent a year learning what this guy has to offer, studying him every single match. That's why I was out there.
Yep.
And now it's time I get my revenge.
And it's time for the Jungle Boy singles push.
Yes, it is. You can use Luchasaurus going through 4 tables off the top of a ladder to write him off TV for, a month and a half, and let Jungle Boy do some single stuff against Christian.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it should be a fun feud, and I like that. That's how we went off the air tonight. Even though the Young Bucks did get time to celebrate.
Yeah, and the jacket got stuck there.
A little bit.
You could tell it was making him mad too, because he's just pulling harder and harder until it finally went.
A little bit.
But yeah, it was. I've missed the one man concerto so much.
Well, I'm just glad
And a
finally
proper one.
a long-term storytelling came to fruition.
Yes.
That's what
Yes.
wrestling's about to me.
Yes, we've seen that with MJF Wardlow. Now we've seen it with Christian and Jungle Boy. TK knows what he's doing.
He does. I mean, of course, there's a lot of bumps on the road, like there always is. I mean, being a wrestling promoter is not easy.
No.
And being a booker, but this was well done. Great way to end the show, and I enjoyed the match. Like I said, a ladder match, a tag team ladder match, especially. That's my cup of tea. That's the kind of wrestling I really enjoy.
And those belts were way up there.
They were.
They put that first ladder in there, and I went, "How's Jungle Boy supposed to even touch those things?"
Man, and I'm still every time the Young Bucks are on, I'm on the edge of my seat because I mean, the last 2 matches they've been in, the Lucha Bros 2 weeks ago on Rampage, awesome. Those teams have great chemistry, and then tonight, Young Bucks still prove why they're still one of the best tag teams in the world.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, we just saw the Hardys thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Young Bucks have been referred to as Hardy knockoffs,
Mhm.
even before the Hardys started calling them that.
Mhm.
I thought we were going to see one of the Jackson boys go off the ladder through a table and cost the match. I thought that's
Interesting.
where we were going.
If the Hardys were in this match, even before everything went down, even after the concussion at Double or Nothing, I'm going to call it a concussion because that's what it sounds like it was with Jeff. Just the way Jeff is, I was going to feel uncomfortable watching this match. I was going to be excited, but uncomfortable and nervous because I don't know what Jeff's going to do.
Yeah. He would have done the same thing he's always done. He would have climbed up top, had the chance. Nobody would have been around. There would have been somebody on a table, everybody else knocked out. He would have had the chance to clearly grab the titles, and he would have jumped off instead.
Yep. It really will be interesting to see if they still get one more run or if they kind of ruined it for him. I don't know.
Yeah, because it'll be interesting to see, does Jeff come back from rehab and go, you know what? I'm just gonna do backstage stuff. I don't want to get in the ring again. That's what drives me to drink.
Well, and can they keep Matt off TV that long?
No.
I don't know.
No. He'll be back doing something else. He'll be back with the Hardy family, the Andrade Hardy family office thing.
Well, now Andrade's with Rouge, so yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody else is out of the
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. That's
Hardy's going to
true.
come back and pick him back
That's
up.
true. But fun show tonight. I thought it definitely had some bumps,
Yep.
some things I didn't like, but I liked more than I didn't.
Yeah. So, overall rating for the night.
7-6.
All right. I'm a little higher than you at 7.9.
All right, close to an 8.
Yeah, it was close to an 8. There were, just some stuff for the Jericho Appreciation Society second segment.
Right.
Just kind of ruined it for me. Dan Lambert.
Yeah.
Although I loved watching him throw a temper tantrum like a
He's
little
good at
baby.
that. He's good at that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just tired of the American Top 2.
And here's the thing. They kind of gave away that they were going to get in the ring and do something when he's cutting the promo and he's like, when you mess with one of us, you get us all. And then the camera
Right.
flashes to him. And
Yeah.
then, we could come from here. We could come from there. Or maybe there's two guys in the front row. We've already
Yeah.
seen them. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So, but all right. You called it earlier when the match was announced. Are you still going with your wrestler of the night?
I mean, I could go Young Bucks, of course, but I won't. I'll go Will Ospreay.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to say that again after on that episode of Dynamite. Love that match with him and Dax tonight.
All right. Well, I'm not going to agree with you. I want
Come
to.
on, Paul.
I want to, but I'm going to go Christian
I like
for
it.
finally turning on Jungle Boy.
I like it.
So we knew when they dropped the titles, somebody was turning somewhere, and it was Christian. So
It's funny. Christian turns heel. Edge gets turned on to become a babyface in WWE. So after being a heel for like 2 months.
and after trying to run their own version of the Bullet Club for the 5th time.
Yep.
A very weird setup.
They're in the news today too.
Yes, they are. I'm not going to talk about it. It's still developing. I'll wait until there's a full story on it with the result of what happened, and then maybe I'll say we should touch on it.
Could get pretty interesting. The world of wrestling. It's always interesting. There's stuff every week that's going on, but
yeah. But all right. Well, you got anything else you want to touch on before we cut out of here?
I feel like I should, but I can't think of what it is right now. So
we're gonna sign off, and you're gonna go. That's what it was.
Well, I wanted to give you the stage here for the last few minutes, and you got a big event coming up this weekend.
We do, out at the Manitou Moose Lodge Family Fun Center, 1107. It's got like 12 different names now.
Rochester, Indiana.
In Rochester, Indiana. Functified Wrestling Federation presents Jumpstart. We will have the ring set up in the parking lot of the Moose in Rochester, Indiana. And a great show lined up for this. Ryan Paradise will defend his FWF Hybrid Championship against Absolute Thomas Mathis. These two are absolute machines. They are both obsessed with working out, so they're in top physical condition, and they always give it their all when they're in the ring. And we will see J-Rock Daddy, which you can hear interviewed in
I still need to get the audio up on the podcast platforms. I just realized I hadn't done that yet, but it is on all of our social media, and you can watch it in entirety on our YouTube channel.
Yep. And he will defend his FWF Heavyweight Championship against Dios Salvador. And after you hear the interview with J-Rock Daddy and the things he had to say about Rochester, praising Dios, he's going to be the savior of Rochester. That's what I'm calling him. So still got time to get tickets. Tickets will even be available at the door. You can always hit up the Kicking Out podcast page if you want some more information on tickets and how to get them. We can definitely get you something figured out if you're going to be in Rochester. And come out and enjoy the fun. There's going to be food. There's going to be wrestling. There's going to be water. It's going to be great.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, how can you go wrong? And it's going to be beautiful. We're talking like 80 degrees
Yeah, it's
for
not
a high.
this 95 crap.
I know. No humidity. 80 degrees, 6 o'clock bell time. So you got to get there about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time if you're listening to this in a different time zone. But yeah, it's going to be a great show. So come out and check it out. It's the Manitoba Moose Lodge, and it's FWF Presents Jumpstart.
And you might see a familiar face.
You might. You might. I hear there's a guy called Rip Ryerson Jr. who might be there.
Took a 619 last week. If you follow us on social media, you can
Yeah,
check
I
that
know.
out.
Man, that guy got beat up last week.
He deserved it.
Yeah. By Dios.
I want to see him take a concerto.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He'll take a concerto.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, one man concerto through some tables, maybe through a guardrail, maybe some demon will come up from under the ring and pull him down. Who knows? You never know.
It
what
all
happens.
sounds great to me. Make one of them. I want to see one of them happen.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see if we can do that for you.
All right.
But yeah, come out, check out FWF if you want more information. Hit us up on the Kicking Out podcast or our social medias, which we'll get to here in just a minute. Be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media platforms at Kicking Out Pod. And be sure to follow Tanner Lee at Tanner Lee 92. Follow myself at Paul Zartman 921. And of course, be sure to give us a like everywhere you listen to your podcasts. And if it happens to be Apple Podcast, give us that 5-star rating. We're working our way up through the podcast list from, very bottom. We want to be in the top 100 at some point.
That'd be great. Those darn ad-free shows, they keep getting more and more. They're up to 13 podcasts, and they're just ruling the pro wrestling podcast world right now. So the darn Conrad at the Conrad Edison, man.
He gets you every single time. And hey, when you're swinging by the KOP social media platforms, click in the description. There are 2 links to 2 different stores to buy Kicking Out podcast merchandise. This way you can support a great podcast and you look fantastic while you do it. And anything else, Tanner?
I think you nailed it, Paul. Looking forward to next week's podcast as the road to Forbidden Door continues.
All right. Well, with that, for Tanner Lee, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.